morning, everybody. It is Monday, December 19th. It is 1:47 in the afternoon. I've been working all day. But I thought I would pop on and say hello for the first part of the vlog. I've just been doing some like normal Monday stuff, getting ready for restock, prepping things for my employee to bring to her tomorrow. Bunch of other random stuff. I released some cover minders today, so took some pictures and put them on the site. And I'm gonna do some more things. But this weekend was really nice. It was quite uneventful, which was perfect. Perry and I cleaned house and stuff on Saturday, and then on Sunday we did literally nothing all day, and then we took Ash to the park at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was fantastic. But that's about it. We're getting ready this week for Christmas. As you guys know, Christmas is this weekend. So by the time you're watching this, Christmas will have probably already happened actually, but I am doing a restock on the Monday after Christmas Day. So Christmas Day observed. I know a lot of people have that day off, including Perry, but I will still be doing restock that Monday. But I will be MIA the weekend before that, so Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, the whole nine. It's a weekend anyway, so I don't usually work on the weekends. That's about it. So this next coming restock, so the restock after Christmas Day will be the last time that I will be releasing Christmas scents as far as I'm concerned. I will maybe restock them if people want me to after Christmas, but as far as I'm concerned, that's the end of Christmas. So I'll be moving on to a normal variety of scents. And what else? What else? Oh, I have officially made the biggest investment ever in my business. I've ordered diamond paintings. I know, it was a lot of money. It's really stressful. I hope it goes well. I have two different images, two different diamond paintings releasing. I have no idea when they're gonna release because I still have some design stuff that needs to be done. So designing of the boxes that they're going to come in and designing of the rendering of the diamond painting, stuff like that. But then they'll ship out and they'll be here. So it'll probably be knowing shipping and knowing times of designing and stuff. It'll probably be at least a month before they actually release. But I did it. I pulled the trigger. I spent the money. Oh my God, it's very scary. So, but how exciting, right? I showed you guys, if you didn't watch my last vlog, I showed you the images that I am licensing. I have licensed with 3 artists so far. I'm releasing my first artist, and then I'll release my other 2 shortly thereafter. So I'm very scared, I'm very excited, but Randa's Crafty Corner is gonna have diamond paintings. So we're not just an accessory shop anymore, we're now actually selling fully licensed diamond painting kits, which is very exciting. And I'm giving 2 options in terms of the toolkit, that there's the basic toolkit that it comes with, or you can do an upgraded toolkit and I'll add in a sample size of my putty and some tweezers and a multi-placer and the whole shebang. But yeah. That's about it that I can think of to share with you guys, except for I do have my cross stitch. And as you can tell, we've moved over because I finished this. You can kind of see it right here where I was filling in. Remember, I was filling in the blue, and that was going to be the last thing that needed to be done. I finished that this weekend. So I'm now moved over. This is the last page of this pattern. So once I finish this, I'm done. And this has been, I'm pretty sure a year in the making. I wish I knew the exact date that I started it. I probably could go back and find out, but I don't know it. I don't have it written down somewhere, but I do know it has been a long time coming. This is the biggest pattern that I've ever done. It has taken me about a year to do this. So, it's going to be so exciting when this is done. And then I'll show you what I'm going to be working on next. If you don't already know it, it's Witchcrafts by with the Witchy Stitcher. I know it's Halloween themed. I don't give a shit. But this is what I'm working on. For those of you who don't know, this is the map of Hawk Run Hallow, or just map of Hawk Run Hallow, by Carriage House Samplings. I've been working on it for over a year. It is a huge pattern. I've just pulled it out of the Q-Snap and it's like this big. It's huge. And it's stitched on 40 count sand Newcastle linen by Witcholt. Picture this plus. I don't know. Something like that. 40 count sand Newcastle linen. So it's very, very small because it's 40 count. So I think after a year of stitching on 40 count, going to something else is going to be like, whoa, this is huge. But it's all stitched in the called for DMC, and I have made about 80,000 mistakes in the making of this pattern. So it is by no means perfect in any way, shape, or form, because there's about a mistake. There's at least one mistake in every section that I just was like, it's fine. The one place that I know is correct is the border, because these are going to meet at the end. They have to be correct. They have to be. I'm going to like lose my entire shit if they're not. I'm going to fudge it so hard, because there ain't no way in this entire universe that I'm going to go back, and no, not happening. So that's that. It's just very exciting. I wanted to share it. So what I did last night, once I finished the blue, was I moved over and I started working. So I did like this half of the water coming out of the fountain and then this little piece right here. So I'll finish the fountain up and then move on. Very exciting. So hopefully within like the next month, that'll be done. Let's do a Reddit story, shall we? Shall we? I gotta pull up the do. Let's read this one. It already has a couple of words. It's only 9 hours old. It's the first thing that popped up in Am I the Asshole? And it has 7.6 thousand upvotes. And it says, come on, get out of my way. Sorry, things are popping up and being stupid. Am I the asshole for refusing to lie to my niece about why she is not allowed to come skiing with me? Interesting. I, female 29, have a brother, Hugo, male 31. When Hugo was 19, he got his then girlfriend, Amy, pregnant. They had their daughter, Ashley, now 11, and later got married and had a baby boy, 4. Okay. So when he was 19, he got Amy pregnant. Now they're married. They have an 11-year-old and a 4-year-old. The OP is 29. Brother's 31. Got it. Over the years, I've become close to Ashley. When I'm home, quote, I live abroad, close parenthesis. I take her out to shows, shopping, horse riding, etc. We also keep in contact via text. She is bright and thoughtful, just a pleasure to have around. Amy has never liked me, but has mostly put this aside for Ashley. Me and my boyfriend are visiting my family for Christmas and then leaving to go skiing. We arranged for Ashley to come skiing and stay with us for New Year's. Amy wasn't keen on this idea, but relented because Ashley was excited to learn how to ski, as all of her school friends do. I took my BF's hire car to pick Ashley up from school on Friday. She was excited because it's a sports car, and I let her friends sit in it and take pictures. At dinner, she asked if I would drive her to and chaperone her friends going ice skating on Tuesday in town. Hugo said I probably didn't want to look after a bunch of kids, and Amy had already planned to chaperone. Ashley ignored him and begged me to chaperone. I didn't really mind, but Amy looked annoyed, so I said that I wouldn't want to mess with an established plan. Good for her. That is a good idea. Ashley kept pushing and said she didn't want Amy to come because Amy dressed badly and was never fun and embarrassed her. Oh my God. Hugo told her to apologize, which she did, but she also kept insisting it was true. Amy got teary and Hugo told Ashley she'd upset her mother, but this just made Ashley angrier and she dug her heels in. Oh, you've got a little brat. Oh boy. Because of this, she was told she was not allowed to go ice skating and is now not speaking to Amy. Yesterday, Amy, how does this relate? I guess we'll find out. Yesterday, Amy and Hugo came to me and said they didn't want Ashley to come skiing anymore. I guess that's how this relates. Amy feels like Ashley needs to spend more time with her family and Hugo is supporting her. They asked if I would tell Ashley that me and my BF had changed our plans and wouldn't be going on the trip anymore. Listen, you have every right to pull your kid from this skiing trip. You do not have the right, however, to ask her to lie about it. I asked why, and they said that they told Ashley that if they told Ashley the truth, that she would blame Amy, and that would defeat the point of her trying to build a bridge with Ashley. I said I understand that, but I didn't feel right lying to Ashley, and if her parents had made the decision, they need to deal with the consequences and not push it on to me. I agree. Amy said if I cared about Ashley, I would realize it is best for me to fall on my sword rather than alienate her further from her mother. I said no again, but Hugo said we should all take until Wednesday to think about it. Ashley is still being very standoffish to her mother, and I know if she finds out her mother canceled the ski trip, it will get worse. So now I'm wondering if I should go along with Amy's plan. I just want what's best for Ashley. Am I the asshole? And there is 2 edits below it, but I'll just start with that. This one's a bit tricky because I don't want to, I agree in not further alienating Ashley from her mother. And so I get you're trying to smooth over the situation, but I don't think that having OP lie to Ashley about it is the way to do that. It's it could be just a white lie and no big deal. And that's where I'm kind of on the fence about it, of what really would be best for this kiddo. I'm not 100% sure. I just usually am no, you decided to pull her from the ski trip. There's no point in lying to your kid. You tell her why you were pulled from the ski trip. And then you also tell her that you're going to family therapy. That's what you tell her. So when is this? I don't know. So why didn't they just leave her in the ski trip? Visiting family for and stay with us for New Year's. So it's not like she's skipping Christmas or anything like that. As it says, there's visiting family for Christmas and then leaving to go skiing. We arranged for Ashley to come skiing and stay with us for New Year's. So this is after Christmas. So unless it's really important to you that she spends New Year's with mom and dad, then I don't understand why you needed to pull her from the ski trip in the first place. I think you can do both. I think you can work on your relationship with your daughter and continue to let her see her aunt, I think is what this is, who OP is, because she only comes to town every once in a while because she lives abroad. So I sort of don't understand the decision of pulling her from the ski trip, but you're the parent, you get to decide to do that, but also you have to take responsibility for the fact that you chose that, and you have to tell your kid the truth. And then you have to say, we're going to family therapy, because you obviously fucking need it. I wouldn't know what to do if I was in Amy's position and Ashley was so upset and being such a little brat and whatever. But I wouldn't know what to do with that either if I had an 11-year-old that was saying that stuff about me and acting that way. Therapy. Because there's obviously a deeper issue going on with Ashley and Amy that is not talked about here that we don't know about, and so we need to get to the root of what in the world that issue is. But I don't believe that OP is the asshole for saying she's not going to lie to the kid. Editing to add, this is OP continuing. To Amy and Ashley's relationship, commented this elsewhere, so she commented it somewhere. A lot of it comes from Amy trying very hard to be Ashley's friend. Amy was young when she had Ashley, and she was quite isolated, caring for her while Hugo worked and went to uni. He was cut off by her parents at that time. She threw all of her efforts into being a mom and being so close to Ashley as humanly possible. Ashley has explained to me that this has become very suffocating to her. She's trying to forge her own circle, and she feels like Amy insists on being a part of it while also refusing to engage with her on her level. So yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, is there's a bunch of family dynamic going on here, and nobody is doing anything wrong. Amy just wants to be a part of Ashley's life, and Ashley is like, Mom, back off, as a normal 11-year-old would. It feels very suffocating to her. And so this just needs to be talked about. Whether that be amongst themselves or in therapy is up to them, but that needs to be addressed. That's the root of this whole, that's why she said all these mean things about her not wanting to go, is because she feels suffocated. She's 11. The second part is that my parents pay for Ashley to attend a very prestigious private school. Hugo and Amy are nowhere near as affluent as the other families, and Ashley feels a bit left out. It's part of the reason why I have chipped in on for some extracurricular activities. But the fact is, she doesn't always feel like she fits in, which is hard for her. Her school is full of non-working, quote, Range Rover / Birkin, end quote, mothers who are either cool or absent, and Amy is neither. She's involved, but Amy finds her stifling and doesn't want her to be involved in her social life. I can relate to that. I went to school in Boulder, not as young as Ashley was, but in high school. I went to Boulder High School. And if anybody knows anything about Boulder, everybody there, for the most part, not everybody, but a large majority of the people there are wealthy. They always have designer things. They drive. I remember when I got a car, I was like, I thought it was so cool to even get a car at 16. I was not, my whole life, my parents had told me they were not going to buy me a car when I turned 16, that I had to buy me a car, which is what I was planning on doing. But then I turned 16 and my parents got tired of still having to drive me around, so they bought me a car. But it was a $1,000 beater, 1999 Nissan Altima, the same year I was born. And it was a raggedy old thing that it got you from point A to point B. It had a cassette player in it. The whole thing. And all of my friends, their first cars were Range Rovers, BMWs, Audis, any other, Lexus, any other luxury brand you can think of. They were all very nice, brand new cars. I remember the guy that I dated at the time had a BMW, a new one. So it was very, it's the same way that you're surrounded by affluent people and you're a very normal family. I wouldn't say my family was dirt broke, but we weren't well off. We weren't we were middle class or lower middle class. And so I get how Ashley feels about all of this, and my solution would be to, if she was wanting to do this, that one of the options is to take her out of this stupid prestigious private school and put her in public school. Granted, I still had all those same experiences in a public school, but I feel like it is much more concentrated in a private school, and it all depends on where you live and whatever. But yeah. And it's I had issues with that, but never to the point that I wanted to leave the school. But if it seems like it's really if it's really that big of an issue, you can move schools, or we just need to talk to Ashley about how about all the rich people at school and how we're not rich, and figuring out how to be okay with that. She's 11. She needs some help getting through that. When I was going through that, I was 14 through 18. So, and there were people around me that weren't rich. That it's it makes me wonder if because it's a prestigious private school that her parents pay for, the OP's parents, so the grandparents pay for this school, that makes me think that like 99% of them are going to be very wealthy. Whereas like in my school, it was easier because there was like a large portion that was very wealthy, but there was also a portion like me who lived outside of Boulder and commuted in and went to school there and didn't have a lot of money. So like you sort of flocked with your own crowd, whatever. And it doesn't sound like she really has that option there, which sucks. It's also my opinion that Ashley is trying to get some emotional space from her mother only way she knows how, by making her not want to spend time with her. Amy doesn't respond to her requests, so I think she's just resorting to being mean to her, which obviously isn't okay. Obviously isn't okay, but it logically makes sense in an 11-year-old's head that your mother is not respecting when you request things from her, and so therefore you go to whatever other method you know how to make it happen. And then that falls on Amy for not listening to your daughter when she spoke these requests to you and spoke these concerns to you and you ignored her. Edit 2, since this has been asked a lot, Ashley and I have talked since the dinner and she knows that I think she shouldn't have said what she said. We talked about it. Even she said she shouldn't have said what she said. But did I go ham and tell her she's entitled, spoiled, throw the kitchen sink at her? No, but she knows I think she was wrong and she agrees. What point is it in calling an 11-year-old entitled and spoiled and threatening to throw the kitchen sink at her? There's no good things that come from that. I think the conversation that OP had with Ashley is a conversation that Hugo should have had with Ashley and Amy should have had with Ashley. But it's like, you have the conversation where she can admit that what she did was wrong and you talk about why she did it and what we can do to fix it and how you don't speak to people like that and blah, 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 blah. Oi. Top comment says, not the asshole, and not only will Ashley prefer knowing the truth, but she will also feel as though she can trust you because you are refusing to lie to her. Also, Amy trying to guilt you into lying by pulling the "if you actually care about Ashley" rhetoric is such an asshole move. I completely agree. Everybody is saying that she's the asshole. I think this is a hard situation, but I think it is not your family, not your problem. This is very much a Hugo, Amy, Ashley problem and not an OP problem. And so you do what you feel is morally right and not lying to her. But the rest of it is that family's problem that you can you shouldn't have to be like parenting parenting Ashley like you did by having the conversation with her. That should have been a Hugo and Amy thing. And so at some point, OP does need to step out of it. But she was directly asked to lie about it. And so obviously you have to figure out what to do about that situation. But it obviously stems from this very core issue that is so not your problem. Let's see. Da 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 da. There are a couple comments. Yeah, there's nothing really. She says that the grandma, her mom, was a very involved parent. She had the benefit of being able to approach my childish problems with childish mindset. But if Hugo and Amy said all I was allowed to do with Ashley was sit in a Starbucks, that's what I do. They know about everything I do with her and for her, do with her and for her before I do it, and they okay it. So OP is very rational? That's not a word. Rational and reasonable and smart about this whole thing. She's being very mature. And so I think she's doing the right thing. Definitely not the asshole. But I have been rambling for 24 freaking minutes, so I'm going to go. I hope you guys are having a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, December 22nd. I haven't seen you since Monday. Tuesday is always like my craziest day of the week. I spent like 4 hours in the freaking car. It drives me crazy. So I didn't film anything Tuesday. Wednesday, I should have. I was here all day. I was packing orders. I was whatever. I don't fucking know what. I don't know. So, so now it's Thursday, and I think we'll do 2 stories today to make up for it, because I don't know if I'm going to check in tomorrow. I hope so, but I am exhausted today. I'm just tired. I don't feel like it. I just want to curl up in a blanket and not do anything all day. And I know for 100% that is because of how cold it is outside. I don't know how about anybody else in the rest of the United States or wherever right now, but it's cold as balls here in Colorado. It is a whole entire -8 degrees right now outside. There's snow all over the ground. It's freezing. I worry very much about Perry, who is at work today, and he works partially outside, so he does have an office, and he does, the shop that he works in is heated, but he refused to wear gloves today, and I just worry about him a little bit, but he's in a mostly heated area, so I think he should be okay. I am wearing fuzzy socks and a sweater, and I am not leaving this house today. The low, I believe, is like negative, oh God, I don't even know. Do I have a weather thing on my computer? I might. Do I? Ash! Ash, what are you barking at? Shut it. Damn, do I not have... I want weather. No, I don't have weather. I think the low today is like -18 or something. It's -7 right now in Keensburg. Here we go. The low for today is -14. The high is 4. We do have a wind chill warning going on, which is annoying. But it'll start warming up this weekend. Tomorrow's a little bit better with a low of -2, ooh, and a high of 14. So I will be leaving the house tomorrow, but today is absolutely not happening. It is -7 outside. I want nothing to do with that. Yeah, so I don't know what it's like everywhere else in the world, or everywhere else in the US or whatever, but here it's freaking cold, so I want nothing to do with the outside today. But that's about it. We're getting ready for Christmas. I have Perry's very last Christmas present comes today. Then I have everybody's present once that one gets here. And I still need to wrap, and I'm getting ready for Christmas. Tomorrow I'm dropping off Ash at doggy daycare or boarding or whatever it is. We're setting up the cats to stay at home by themselves, and Perry and I are going with my parents up to a cabin in Estes Park for Christmas. It's what we do every year. We've done it with my mom like pretty much since the divorce when I was 10, maybe a little bit after that, but she rents a cabin, and we go and we spend a couple of days up there. So we'll go up there on Saturday, and we'll come back on Monday. What was I gonna say? So it's usually about like 3 days, 2 nights type thing, and instead of like, a bunch of lavish presents or whatever, the cabin kind of is the present, and we play games, and we drink hot chocolate, and we do a puzzle, and we have a good time. There's usually alcohol involved. Like, we hang out, we have a good time, we enjoy each other's company, and that's the present. It's more about spending time together. We do little like token gifts, but that's our present, and I've always loved it, and so I'm very excited to do it again in a couple of days. This is Perry's second time coming to this cabin ritual, so I hope he likes. I'm very excited. Reddit story? Yeah, that's about it. And guess what else I'm doing today? Tax stuff. Yeah, it's my first year truly having to file as like a business. And so I have to I have to print out all of my like bank statements for multiple different banks and multiple different credit cards and go through all of that and figure out what my deductions are and figure out how I want to get miles for like driving to my employee's house. So I have to like do that math and like, it's just going to be a good time. I have to give out 2 1099s this year. I just don't want to. I'm going to get like 3 or 4 1099s this year. It's just so annoying. It's so stupid. I don't want to do any of it, but I have to start prepping for it. So today I'm going to print out all my bank statements and go through and figure out what my deductions are. It's going to take me a hot fucking minute. Okay. This is Am I the Asshole? And it's Christmas themed, so why not? This is Am I the Asshole for, quote, upstaging my wife in our Christmas cookie baking tradition. It has 13K upvotes and it has a ton of awards. It was posted 19 hours ago. It says, my 20F male, wife, 23 female, and I have had a tradition every Christmas where we would bake Christmas cookies and frost them without friends. Then we'd give the cookies out to family and friends and helpers. Every year, my wife would take on the bulk of the baking duties, insisting that only she knew how to bake them, quote, right, and only letting whoever is helping frost them. She always insisted on doing all of the baking because frosting is the fun part and the only thing people want to do. Usually the frosting and baking marathon would last until the wee hours of the morning and start around noon. Well, this year, for reasons that aren't relevant to this post today, she would not be available on the day we normally do all of this. She was sad that she wouldn't be able to do our cookie tradition. I said that I was more than capable of baking the cookies. She seemed to think I was joking and that I could basically never do it myself. Well, I said I'd try, and she wished me a sarcastic good luck. Well, in the run-up of the days of baking and frosting, I started running drills to optimize production. Either testing a tragic enter testing and tragic mistake montage, close parenthesis. I started rearranging the house in various configurations, running tests on the dough we are using to see how long it took to bake and make appropriate changes while running it by taste testers, substituting ingredients for quicker bake time while preserving taste, making the cookies as thin as possible without compromising frosting ratio, canvas space for creativity, and or compromising structural integrity, etc. Oh my god! Come the day of baking, I have everything down to a science. As friends and family come in, I give them the rundown. After a couple hours, most kinks are worked out, and cookies are flowing out at a breakneck pace. Eventually, we start running out of material, something that never happened under my wife's Aegis? Aegis? I've never seen that word before. Aegis. Does anybody know what that word means? I've never seen that before. We start making runs to the store for the necessary raw materials to fuel our mighty cookie forges. Oh my god. Forges. Not forges. Good lord. By the time we were exhausted, around 2 a.m., we had produced at least 5 times the amount of cookies we ever had before. Well, my wife gets home a couple days later and is weirdly upset. She insists the cookie tastes weird, that we spent too much money, and that I was actively trying to make her look bad by making so much more than her. In truth, I ran blind tests to see if anybody could differentiate between our old recipe and mine, and no one could. I also spent 40% more than years previous as I slotted in some cheaper ingredients and bought some stuff in bulk. I only spent 40% more. I had zero intention of upstaging her. I simply had the goal of maximize cookie production. She says that even if I didn't do it on purpose, that I should have thought about how it would make her look to our circles and that I have embarrassed her. And she actually called me an asshole. She's never called me an asshole in all 3 years of marriage, but I can't help but think that I am. Am I the asshole? The fact that this is what your wife calls you an asshole over is stupid, frankly. That I think this is hilarious. And I think if I were the wife, I would have come home and burst out laughing at his story about how he maximized cookie production. Like, it sounds like something my fiance would do. And, like, you made 5 times more cookies. Fantastic. I guess you could say something about spending more money, but, like, and I don't know why you decided to do this blind taste test, but they couldn't tell the difference, so it's like just such a stupid thing to be kind of mad about, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but like, it sounds like he had a lot of fun. So like, and that's the point, is to have fun, right? So like, who cares? Who cares? And it sounds like she was like out of town during all of this. That's funny. Overall vote is not the asshole. I would agree. Top comment says, I don't know if you're the asshole, but it sounds like you took something she enjoys and was sad about missing and did it without her. I would be sad if someone did that to me personally. Edited to add my vote of not the asshole. And if she was mad about that, I would understand that a lot more than like, you're upstaging me, or what. Like, that just seems kind of petty. And sorry, I got distracted by the fact that welcome to ADHD. I got distracted by the fact that everybody is outside shoveling their driveways right now, and our driveway is covered in snow, and I'm thinking, should I shovel the driveway? And then I'm like, I don't want to shovel the driveway. Perry usually shovels the driveway, and I don't. But I feel like I should because everybody else is. Anyway, cookies. That part, you're sad that he did this thing that you really enjoyed without you. Because I would think, it sounds like she was only out of town for a couple of days. It's not like it's going to make that big of a difference. You say, oh, honey, it's okay. We'll do it when you get back. Instead of, I wonder if he told her he was doing this without her, but also she made a whole thing about like being sarcastic and you can't do it by yourself and blah, 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 blah. It doesn't sound like, unless that is the core issue here. The comment right below that says, to me, it sounds like she didn't think he could do it, or hell, even better than her. Also, it's a tradition. Do they have to stop because one person is missing for that year? She liked baking and basically gatekeeping it from others. He didn't do anything wrong by taking it over and trying it for the one time that his wife couldn't do it, not the asshole. I still think that she really enjoyed it. There could be a point in saying, why don't we just wait a couple of days and do it then? But it doesn't sound like that's what she's upset about. It sounds like she's upset that he did it better than her. Or at all. So next, I'm looking for the next original comment. This one says, not the asshole. You didn't do anything, quote, wrong per se, but your methods sound fun and add a competitive edge which enhances the excitement for some people. But no one likes to discover that the tradition on which they've spent time and effort and enjoy doing doesn't need them at all to function, or may even be better without their hard work. Maybe consider telling your wife how much you and your friends missed her at this year's event, and that you'd rather have her and less cookies than so many more cookies without her. I agree with all of that, but it doesn't sound like that's what she's mad about. And if it is, then she needs to say it. because he's not a mind reader. Yeah. Everybody says not the asshole. The only thing is that it's like, oh, you're doing this fun thing without your wife, whatever. And great, if that's what she's sad about, then I understand that. There are a couple comments from OP, but none of them are. Oh, this could have made a difference. He says within this I had 25 adults there, not including children. So this was like a whole family effort that he pulled the whole family into this. And I don't know if that's how they usually do it. Yeah, it says we would bake cookies and frost them without friends. We'd then give them out to family and friends. I wonder if there's something about her being upset to the fact that all of the family and friends were there making cookies with him and she wasn't a part of it. That's the only rational thing that makes sense to me. Otherwise, why are you so mad that he like outstaged you or what? It doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, I'm just going to stop that here for today. This might be a shorter episode this week. I hope that that's okay. I got a lot going on. I'm getting ready for Christmas. You're getting ready for Christmas. But that's it for today. I'll hopefully check in with you guys tomorrow.